Okay, everybody, I'm going to make a quick tutorial over all of the steps to create the Geoquick gasket, which you can see right here. This will also be in chapter 4 of your book. You'll go to page 217. You'll see these written instructions as well. To start this out, this is an important step. You'll need to go to Blackboard and go to chapter 4 and go to chapter 4, module 2. If you go down, you will see this assignment right here. It's assignment 1, project 4.1, Geoquick gasket. And what you'll need to do is download this Imperial prototype drawing template. You'll just click on it and it'll automatically download right here. Then when you go into AutoCAD, I'm going to exit out of here to just walk you guys through these steps. From AutoCAD, I want you to go to your Downloads folder, and you'll see the Imperial prototype template right here. And you'll open it up. Here we are. And you're going to do File, Save As. And you're going to go into your Google Drive Drafting 1405 folder, and you're going to save this. And I already have it saved, but I'm doing this to show. And I'm just going to hit save, and I'm saving it in the Drafting 1405 folder in my Google Drive. Save. Yes, I want to replace it, or it will just say, is this good? And you'll say yes. Now, I'm going to exit out of here and re-enter into that Imperial prototype template from my Drafting 1405 folder. This is just to make double sure that I am opening my template from the right place. I'm going to save as again. I'm going to resave it as Geoquick gasket. And that was a save as, because I want to keep my Imperial prototype in this folder. But I'm just making a copy. Here we go. Now I've started. I've started from a template. I've named it Geoquick gasket. It's saved in my Drafting 1405 folder in my Google Drive. So to get started, I'm in Model Space. So of these two tabs, I need to be clicked on Model Space. It'll say Model right here. Dynamic input is on. That should be blue right there. And this right here is ortho mode, which we will toggle on and off depending on what we're doing. This right here is our snaps. I'm going to toggle that on, so I want my object snaps to be turned on. Okay, so in model space, I'm just going to zoom in so that I can see this magenta box. I'm going to make sure that I'm going to do this on layer 0. There's just a drop down here, and I'm going to select layer 0. And let's start this Geoquick gasket. So what I'm going to start with is the rectangle command. I'm just going to click somewhere in here, in the bottom left corner somewhere. And what it's going to want from me is it's going to want the width and then the height of this rectangle, which is 3, 3.5. There we go, got a rectangle. Now, what I need to do is explode this rectangle so that I can use it with other geometry. I don't want it to be one object. See how when I click on it, it's one object? I want it to be 4 separate lines. So I have it selected. While it's selected, I'm going to click the explode button right here. And now you see that when I hover over each one of these lines, they highlight individually. So now I just have 4 separate lines. All right, So the first thing we're going to get in here is this little nook in this Geoquick gasket. Let me pull up a picture. This is on page 217 in your book, but this is also just where we were in Blackboard. There's a PDF of this project. So what we want to make is we want to make this feature right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to offset this line right here up to create a full line to get the exact location of this line. So this is our introduction to the offset tool. To get into the offset tool, I'm going to type in O, the letter O, not 0, the number. I'm going to type in the letter O, enter. I'm in my offset tool now. Now, I'm going to always read the instructions that I see before me in the dynamic input. It says specify offset distance. This bottom line is going to be projected up 2 units. So when it says specify, that usually means type something. I'm going to type in 2 and then enter. Okay, now it's telling me select object to offset. Select, that means click on something. I'm going to select this object, and you see how when I move my mouse above and below my target line, I kind of have 2 options. I can offset it up here, or when I drag my mouse down here, I can offset this down here. I want it to be up here, so I'm going to make sure that my mouse is above this line, and then in order to finalize this command, I'm going to do a single click. Click. There we go. I'm going to do this again, so I'm going to exit out of my offset tool. There's a way to stay in the offset tool, but for this exercise, we're going to exit out every single time. Get our rhythm going that way. So I'm going to go back into the offset tool. That is, I'm going to type in O, enter, specify offset distance. Now, I am going to get this distance right here, offset up. Let's do this. Okay. That will mean that this line is offset up 0.5 units. Offset tool, O, enter, specify offset distance. Going to type in 0.5, enter. Select object to offset. I'm going to select this line, click. And you see how it's giving me my options by where I drag my mouse. I'm going to make sure that I have dragged my mouse above this line. And then to finalize this, to make this line that I see permanent, I'm going to click. And now I'm going to do the same thing to get this line right here. I'm going to offset this line over 0.5. So escape, get out of the offset command, get back into the offset command, type in O, enter, specify offset distance. I'm going to type in 0.5. See how 0.5 is already in there? I don't need to type it in. I can actually just hit enter. Or I can type it in, it'll replace it, but I'm just going to hit enter. Select object to offset. I'm going to select right here, drag it over, and I'm going to do a single click. All right, so I'm going to escape out of my offset command. Now, I have all the geometry needed to make this little cutout right here. I have too much geometry needed. I have lines I need to get rid of now. But what's good about this offset command is that I know that these are to scale exactly where I need them. In order to get rid of these extra lines, I'm going to use my trim command. And that will be, I type in TR, just one after the other, T and then R, T, R, and then I hit enter. Enter. I'm now in my trim command. And the way the trim command works, you see how when I hover over a line, that line disappears? If I click, it gets rid of that line segment. There we go. I've now created this cutout exactly where it needs to be. All right, next I am going to add this chamfer up here. So to do that, I'm going to exit out of my trim command. So hit escape. Okay, now I'm in no commands right now. It's cleared. So now I can go into my chamfer command. I'm going to type in CH. Okay, you see I have a little drop down right here? Typing in CH wasn't enough. If I was to just hit enter, it would select the first of this list. I would have to type in CHA to get the chamfer command, or I could just click on it. So now I'm in my chamfer command, and it says select first line or. I'm gonna do or. So down here, I can modify commands, and I'm going to modify the chamfer command before I start using it. I'm going to click on distance because the way I'm going to put this chamfer in here is by providing two distances. So I'm going to click on distance, specify the first chamfer distance. I'm going to specify this one first, 0.625. Enter. Specify second chamfer distance, 0.5. Enter. Select first line. Now how do I know which line is first? The first line will correlate with the first distance that I entered. So I entered in 0.625 first. That is on this line right here. So I'm going to select this line first. Select the second line. I'm going to select this right here. And you see as I hover over it, I can see that chamfer. I click to finalize the command. There we go. Next, I'm going to place this circle, this cutout in the middle of this gasket. So in order to do this, I'm going to use the snap from command, which I believe I need my snap toolbar, which you guys should have on your screen, but mine is gone for the moment. So I'm going to add my snap toolbar, object snap. If you don't have this toolbar, just do what I'm doing now to add this toolbar. There's my object snap toolbar up there. Your toolbar may be somewhere else on your screen. But I need that to start adding this circle the way I'm going to add it. So now what I want you to do is hit this drop down under circle and select center diameter. That means that we're going to be typing in the diameter of the circle to define the size of the circle. Okay, now I'm in my circle command. I have not clicked anywhere yet. I've only gone into the circle command. Before I do anything, I'm going to go find this button here that says snap from. And if you have trouble finding it, all you need to do is hover over each of the commands in your toolbar and they will tell you what they are. So it's this one right here. I'm going to click on that. Okay, now it wants me to give it a base point. The base point is going to act as my 0, 0 location for me to put in coordinates that define where the center of that circle is. So I'm going to choose this bottom left corner. Okay, now it's asking me for coordinates for where the center of that circle is according to my base point. In order to start this process off of putting in the coordinates, I need to give it the @ sign. So I'm going to type in @ so that is Shift 2, and you can see how I have that @ sign appear right there. And then I'm going to type in my X coordinate and then my Y coordinate. My X coordinate is horizontal and my Y coordinate is vertical. So I'm going to type in 1.5, comma, 1.625. 1.5, comma, 1.625, and then hit enter. There we go. I have my circle started. Now, I don't have the size of my circle yet, so I'm still in the circle command. We aren't done yet. This circle has a diameter 1.5, so I'm going to type in 1.5 and hit enter. There we go. I have a circle that is 1.5 in diameter. located as it is shown in this dimension drawing over here. Next, I'm going to add this fillet down here. This fillet is 0.5 by 0.5. That would be the size of the fillet. If I was just, I can tell that this is on that tangent of that fillet. But the most reliable measurement is that I see that this fillet has a radius of 0.5. Fillets are usually defined by a radius. And I can tell because the little arrow for this dimension is pointing to this circle right here. That is what is being defined, and this arrow starts right here, meaning that 0.5 would measure from here to here, getting the radius of this fillet. So I'm going to use my fillet command. To get my fillet command, I'm going to type in F, enter, select first object. So what it's going to have me do is select two lines, the two lines that the fillet is on. So I don't think it matters what order I enter them in, especially since the fillet's the same on both sides, as most are. Select first and second. All right. It seems as though I've missed a step because you see how when I hover over this, it tells me that it's 0.375 across, and it didn't give me a place to put in my dimension for this. That means that this is wrong. This could happen to you when you're doing this, and that's fine. The easy way to undo something that you just did, if you need to do it again, make sure you got it right, is to hit Control, and while you're holding down Control, press Z. That undoes whatever you just did last. That's just the undo button, basically. So we're going to do this again. I'm going to go into my fillet command, F, enter. And I think the mistake that I made was that I just jumped right down in instead of going down here and selecting radius. Because as we talked about, I'm going to enter in the radius of this fillet. So got into my fillet command. I'm going to go down here and click on radius. Specify fillet radius. Okay, here's my big chance. 0.5, enter. Now I can select my first object. Now I can select my second object. There we go. That is the correct fillet there in the correct size. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go over here and make this fillet. So I just hit escape to get out of my fillet command just to make sure that I'm clear, because I'm just going to go back in, I'm going to press the key F and then enter. I'm going to go down here, hit radius. I'm going to enter the radius of this fillet down here, R 0.375. So I'm going to type in 0.375, enter. Now I get to select my lines. There we go. Okay, next, we're going to get these circles here, and we don't have to individually place each of these circles. We could if we wanted to, but in this exercise, we're going to review the array command. So all we need to do is get one of these circles, and then we'll do the array command to copy that circle over this way 4 times, and then that row up 1 time up here. So what I need to do is find the center of this circle. Now this radius is 0.375. I've already made this radius. The center of this circle is also 0.375 over from this side and 0.375 up from this bottom. That means that this circle and this radius right here, they share the same center. So because of that, I don't need to do any snap from or anything like that to find the location of that circle. I can actually just go over here to my object snaps, hit my little caret button, and make sure that my center object snap is checked on. You can click on it and check it on and off. Make sure it's checked on. Then I can go over here and I'm going to make sure I have my center diameter circle. I'm going to hover around here until it snaps in place And that's showing me the center of this fillet right here. That should be the center of my circle. So I'm going to click and drag. All right, now I get to enter in the diameter of my circle, which is, so I don't see it down here, but I do see it up here, 0.25. Now, 8 times, they only had to write it once and just put 8 times on one of these circles. So if this one's 0.25, this one's also 0.25. So I'm going to type in 0.25, enter. Okay, now we're going to do something called the array command. And I could get there by typing in array. I would probably type this in and then go down here and select array. Or I could go up here and just hit this button right here, which is rectangular array. Okay, I'm going to select the objects that I'm going to array. That's this circle. It would have allowed me to select multiple, but I only have one. So I selected that. Now I have to hit enter to let it know that I'm done. And you'll see some stuff appear here. Ignore that for now. But in order to get this array, we have 4 columns, 2 rows. The columns have 0.375 in between each feature, and the row, if we're going to go between this point and this point, I need to find what that dimension here is right there. And in order to find it, you'll notice I don't really have a dimension coming off of here telling me what that is. So the easiest way to probably do that would be to subtract 0.375 and 0.375 from 3.5. So let me do that. Okay, I'm going to subtract it again. 2.75. That's the distance between this row of circles and this row of circles. Okay. In order to complete the array command, I click this checkbox up here. So I'm going to click right there. There we go. All right, the last feature that I have to add is this circle right here. And we kind of have a similar thing going on here where this circle it shares the same center as this radius. Now, when 2 circular features or arced features share the same center, we call that concentric. So it would be proper to say that this circle is concentric with this radius. Because they share the same center, I can actually just do what I did before, make sure my center snap mode is turned on. I can just snap it in place. So I'm going to find the center of that, click, drag out. I'm going to type the diameter of that circle, which is 0.375, enter. All right. So make sure that you hit save every so often. I'm going to hit Control S. It's a quick way to save. You can also just hit your save command up here. When my file is saved, that asterisk that's next to the name will disappear. So that's how you know you're up to date. Hit save again. See, there it disappeared. Now, for this project, what I want you to do now that we've drawn the thing is go over to your Layout tab and click on your Layout tab. That will take you into paper space. See how this says paper? This would be what you would print out, essentially. And in order to complete this project, I want you to just make sure that your graphics are in the graphics window, which they should be because that graphics window shows up here for you for reference. And then I want you to go over here and we're just going to fill out these. So if you're having a hard time, like if you're, say, clicking on this and nothing is happening, what you need to check is you need to go down here. If it says model, you want to toggle that back to paper space. So you need to click on that until it says paper space. You want to be in paper space. When you're in paper space, now I can hover over this and you see how it highlights? That means I can edit that text. So I hover over text, and then once it highlights, I know that I can click on it. So I've got it highlighted, it like has lit up for me. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to name this Geoquick Gasket. I'm going to leave the scale for now. Type in the date. Type in your name. You can type in an abbreviation if you want. Our course number is drafting 1405. And this is very important. We only have one sheet in this drawing, but they need to know that there is only one total and that this is the first of the total of one. So 1 of 1. Scale. Let me see something here. I'm going to type in 1/2 because I believe that's what this template defaults to. So just go ahead and do that. And there you go. Now, make sure that it's saved. I'm going to hit Control S. And in order to turn this in, this is what you're going to do. So, you're going to go to the Output tab, Export, DWF. You're going to save it in your Drafting 1405 folder in your Google Drive. And this one you can just name Geoquick Gasket. You'll be turning this in for a grade right away. There's no authentication step. So there we go. It all looks good. .dwf. Hit save. Good. I have it set so that it'll automatically open up Autodesk Design Review. This is what I'll see when you turn this in. And this is the only thing I can open it in. So you need to save this as a DWF in order to turn it in. Now, in order to turn in this assignment, all you need to do is go to your due dates calendar. You find the assignment on your due dates calendar and you click on it. And if you will see a link here that says go to this assignment. When you click on that link, that will take you to the exact place where you upload that assignment. It'll have maybe some extra instructions, which is good. You'll hit upload files. You'll browse your local files and you will go to your Google Drive Drafting 1405 folder and you will select your Geoquick Gasket. Now, this is really important. There will be multiple options here. You will have a DWG file. That's your AutoCAD file. That's not what you want to turn in. You want to turn in Autodesk DWF document. So you'll click here, open. Wait until you see it right here. You can add comments if you want, but you don't have to. And you'll hit submit. Here you will see something that says your submission was successful. It'll give you a confirmation number. And I needed to check and see if it sends y'all an email or not. But you should check and see if your submission was successful. Sometimes if the internet craps out while you're uploading something, you might need to upload it again. So just make sure you're patient and wait to see this. All right, so that's it for that assignment. If you guys have any questions, you can ask me in class, of course. So thank you all.